I'm gonna record this here locally. Just record. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, Birdie Wooster. stream will start very, very soon. I'll be right back. Refresh my espresso. So I played a couple tunes and sang and played a couple tunes. One of them was Pennies from Heaven, which I showed you guys last week. And then the other one was Louisiana Fairy Tale, which I have showed you also. And that one is starting to feel very settled, Louisiana Fairy Tale. So I've performed it, let's see, I'm trying to think, maybe 3 or 4 different places now. Just in this just get up and do your thing kind of way. So that's really cool. Let's see, what else? 2 days ago, Sunday, this past Sunday was the Teach Talk event through the ATG. I'll give you guys a visual on that. Let's see how I can do this right there. And I'm trying to work out. Eventbrite. Anyway, Teach Talk is a through the ATG. It's something that I am heavily involved with, and but also with the other committee members from the ATG, the Continuing Education Committee. Pretty hip group. It's got Joanne Cochran-Summers and some other people. I don't want to list everybody, but there's a lot of energetic people there. And we do this thing, and it was great. We modified just last minute. I got some suggestion from a couple other committee members who had just, you know how ideas just happen. You're chatting with friends. And I said, hey, let's, instead of doing these little breakout rooms for the meeting, because the format we had been trying is like kind of a larger discussion with everybody that joins the meeting, and then these little smaller discussions. And really bad connection already. It looks good on my side, Birdie. Try, let's see, I don't know what's going on, because let me put the chat box on here, by the way. It'll take a second to populate, I think. Or do I have to put it up further? What's going on here? Twitch dropped. Yeah, try. I don't know what's up with the Twitch, but I'm showing that I have a full 1 megabyte per second upload rate, which is very good. And I don't show anything dropped. So the signal's going up. Try YouTube. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with... I use the evil Streamlabs because they're the most affordable for multi-streaming. But I don't know. But also they're known for being not having the latest updates for stuff. Sorry about that. But yeah, if the stream's breaking down for you on one platform, try another platform. It's Rising Read on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. So check that out. Sorry about that. What I was going to say is we changed the format. Just a little tiny bit. So instead of having these little breakout groups where we try to make smaller groups so people just have more opportunity to make conversations and all the voices, everybody can sort of participate, we just stayed in a large group this time. There's something I learned about while I was in that Teach Talk yesterday, which is very cool. The subject was on technique and practice, really practice habits, but practicing. And it's just so much fun to hear teachers get excited about what they're teaching and how they work and all that sort of stuff. That'll be really cool. So anyway, you'll hear about that again from me in probably a month and a half, or about a month when we start prepping for the next one. It's every 2 months. Anybody that teaches any amount of accordion students is invited to participate, and I think you'll enjoy it. Cool. So yeah, so that's what we're going to kind of be doing. The thing that I learned about, I'm folding into this theme, which is that a musician is a mosaic, and I had this for the promotional emails that I send out. I use an AI image creator through Canva. Canva just has all these pre-made templates because I'm a terrible designer, so I can just search for these templates and replace the text and the photos and maybe the colors and move it around, and it's done relatively quickly. But they have some sort of connection. I don't know which one they use, but so that's all of the images that aren't photographs that I use come from them. And it always takes me, it's kind of fun. So I found like accordionists as a tile mosaic. This is risingreed.com, which is my website. And I'm working on, I've gotten off the ground my work for this this new course that I hope to release in a couple weeks. And at first it's just going to be an online course only. So what do they call it? Self-guided, they call it self-guided course. So I wanted to show you what I'm doing is fleshing out the outline for all the topics, and I'm starting to write stuff. So this first section here, preliminary ideas, if you go on it, you should be able to, I have this marked as like a free sample, so you can read the stuff that's in there, and I'm starting to finish up the articles. So I would say this one, 12 Keys is the Process, is a finished article. I've sent it out to a couple students who are working on similar stuff, and it's just text, kind of like a blog or whatever. The Great American Songbook requires the skills of 12 keys. That era of popular music, the 1920s through the 1950s, is by its very nature. My speaker just told me that the battery's getting low. I'm gonna have to plug that in. But yeah, just the tunes of the Great American Songbook by Gershwin and Cole Porter and Irving Berlin, etc., have a much more chromatic quality to them. And what I explained that, I think, succinctly and well in that little lesson, I guess you'd call it. And then in addition, the way jazz musicians play over the top of that, which is the bulk of the stuff like that, or they're written in song forms which are very much based on. So there are many tunes, written on the chord changes to "I've Got Rhythm," which is a George Gershwin song from a very early 20s musical, and other songs, So it's all tied in there. The composers and then the jazz musicians are kind of accessing similar things, how to go about digging on 12 keys. And I really meant this to be like the sort of information chapter I'm thinking this as like kind of a living textbook or an online textbook and online reference guide. And so this morning I was working on how to use this course, and it's the writing isn't done. I'm not good at like waiting till things are finished to make them live on the site. I just start working on it because I found that you have to check the site on a whole bunch of different devices, and it's such a pain to make sure all the devices are logged in and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just like, whatever, it's up there. And then I'll hopefully get this done in a day or so. And then I'll be adding stuff to this preliminary ideas, and I'll also have a couple of the actual like topics with sound slice videos up there for you to check out too, to see if you want to do the course. But yeah, if you're interested in jazz course, just keep checking back, and I will announce it as it's live to sign up for the site. So I'll be updating stuff that I have to add over the years about jazz chords and harmony will go into this course. So it'll be kind of like a perennial course, and then I can continue to offer group classes on it too, to sort of coach and give feedback, and provides like a cool atmosphere to work with other accordionists. Cool. All right, so you can check that out. What else? Yeah, okay. Well, on to more of the subject for today. So talking about a musician as a tile mosaic, we could think of just the different parts, So you have to study. A musician has to study. You have to practice. You have to investigate new stuff. You can't say if you're not learning new tunes and new ways to go through your tunes and new techniques, I'm not really sure what you're doing. I think that's probably a sign of depression for a musician. We're always progressing and moving forward, and the way that you do that could be like a common jazz musician way is to learn from your favorite musicians. So to transcribe a solo or to transcribe the chord, to learn something by ear. This goes also for every folk style, or as one of my students calls it, vernacular music. You learn just by listening and studying. The classical music way is that somewhat, but it's also there are other traditions of study which are more academic, of course, you can just learn more pieces, and when you get to practice something that you're not studying, I would say. To study is really to work to understand and explore and develop things. And I would put that as different from just practicing something. Like, for example, if I took a great gig where I had to learn a whole bunch of music tomorrow, I would be practicing that music, but I would not be spending time studying it very much, probably. I would just be working on teaching my nervous system how to play that music as good as possible, as quickly as possible. And the same, if I'm studying something, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm putting it under my fingers all that. I think that they are definitely related, and to study means to practice, but to practice doesn't always mean to study, I would say. So yeah, so we need to develop. And then so, of course, we need to practice. That's super important. I like to use the metaphor of being a boxer because I think that's very visceral to understand. A successful boxer, I think, unless they're like way overmatched, a successful boxer has to be training. They have to be doing their cardio and they're running and hitting the bag and all that kind of stuff, and eating right and sleeping right. And then they also have to get in the ring and spar with their trainer and with other boxers and stuff. And then of course they have to be out there fighting fights, having matches. And it's small in New York City. I think that's the most densely populated or the most jazz musicians of any city that I have lived in. You'll find them at all levels working. One of the reasons is just the realities of the economics, and the other is the reality of the economics, and just that, yes, you toured Europe last week, but this morning you're on a brunch gig with me, and that's just how it is, and it's necessary. You gotta be playing. You don't want to just sit in your house and wait for the phone to ring for the mega gig. That doesn't work as a musician. And if we're new to performing or whatever, or even we don't want to be professional performers, it's very important that we create opportunities to perform. And the opportunities to perform could be recording yourself and putting it up online or sharing it with people. It could be playing for your friends that come over, or bringing your accordion over to your friend's house. It could be semi-professional things, like if you don't feel comfortable working professionally yet, there's a million places that would love to have your accordion music, like hospitals and serving people in need, volunteering your time to play for really anybody. And then there are other smaller, a lot more chill and less pressure gigs, like playing at farmers markets and busking and all that sort of thing. And then, like what I'm doing lately, is just going to open mics, which is great. It's a nice challenge for me. And I know that the performing to drive the nervous system, to settle that, I have to perform. And doing the open mics are, right now, they're the way, because I haven't found anybody yet to jam with. There's one violin player that I hope is going to be, we have made contact. I can't believe it. It's a French gypsy jazz violin player that lives in the high desert here. And I'm just hoping that we can get together and play some music, because I know people he plays with, and I think we'd get along well. We play the same kind of music, same genre. But I'm not there yet, as far as networking out here. From the last couple weeks. But one of the every week assignments is to make an artist's date with yourself, and you are not allowed to bring anybody else. It has to just be you, and it could be a lot of things. You could go to a museum, you could go to a store and purchase some supplies, or sort of treat yourself to a little, new pen or pencil or something like that. It's really open-ended, but the idea is to, like, you have this self that is an artist, and these other selves that are whatever, the other things that you do, the other aspects of your life. But the idea is that artist self, you are taking that person on a date, and doing something fun and cool to inspire that. And I would say, as musicians, we need that. It's easy to forget to go out and listen to live music. In fact, I have some relatives and friends that love live music, and they go see live music way more than I do. It's like that's kind of weird. For you, you learn a lot from human patterning. You get inspired. You pick up all sorts of things, and you sort of see the community of other people who go out and check out live music, which is great because that could be your audience as well eventually, and probably learn about more shows, more cool stuff. Even I found, like, from the open mics, even when I'm listening to something that I'm really not enjoying, we're respectful because that's it. And the reality, there's a great Stefan Rembel interview where he talks about this. He says, I know that in the audience, there's going to be people that really love what I'm doing, and there's going to be people that are like kind of think what I'm doing is okay, and then there's going to be people that just really dislike what I'm doing, and he has no control over that. He just has to play. Then that's expectation, right? So his expectations are set very realistically. With that in mind, I would say that's the case. But I guess where I was going with this is that even if I'm at the open mic and I got there a little late and then I'm number 17, which is like the last one or second to last one, and I'm listening to everybody, and a lot of the music just doesn't do anything for me, I'm still trying to actively listen. I think that's really great practice. If I have to be there, be respectful and supportive of the community, which I want to be. I think that's the best behavior at an open mic or any sort of situation like that. And then try to find things you do like, or try to identify what you would do differently, or practice listening to lyrics. If you don't, usually that's one thing that I do, or practice just trying to figure out the song, with my ears, all sorts of things. Often there's stagecraft too. That's fun to check out. On the open mic at the dive bar that I did last week, I was the only musician there. It wasn't very many people. I would say it's like 5 people. The guy who ran the open mic sang to a karaoke track of Elvis, and he wasn't the greatest singer. I don't think that he studied or practiced very much. That's not fair for me to say, but there's room for improvement in his vocal delivery, right? But one of the fun things that I enjoyed was he had like some like Elvis moves and stuff, and at the end of like one of the tunes, he got down on his knee, like the Elvis thing. It was fun. He had tons of energy, and it was fun to watch. And like, oh, cool. Like this is working because he's 100% into it. It's silly, but at the same time, it's not. It doesn't go cringe. It's like if it's done with sincerity, from oneself, it often you can take risks and try things and avoid cringe. So that's cool. So performing, finding opportunities to perform, and finding opportunities to listen, those are all really, really important things. And and then I think like setting goals somehow, no matter what it is, no matter where you are, if you're just a beginner or if you're full-on professional, anywhere inside of that, setting some sort of goals at all. It's I think it is for me, I found it to be unhealthy to overmanage myself, and I have that capability to hypermanage, and I've been there before, and done it for a while. It was useful, and then it wasn't useful, and then I've been without goals and without management or recording or anything. And I do think any kind, and this is something Joanne Cochran Summers mentioned also in the discussion on Sunday, and she's somebody who has a ton of experience, and I would say very wise and knowledgeable about general not general, but things that apply to probably all accordion players. And one of the things that she said is, you got to have some goals. You got to manage your time somehow. And so what I've been doing for the 12 keys work is just giving myself, I have a lot of free time right now, which is great. So I'll just give myself an hour or 2 hours, and I'll try to record when I started and when I finished. And then I can get a sense, if nothing else, I get a sense of, a lot of times there's kind of just like, well, if I can get 4.5 hours in a day, that's amazing. That's great. And I noticed that I get a lot of progress then. And then if I look back and it's only 90 minutes or only an hour, then I understand what is going on. It's like, oh, okay, you need to block off more time, find more time for more practice. Now, this is me. That's that's what I need. So all these things are sort of like a mosaic. And I think for me, it's nice to talk about because in what I do and what I get paid to do to help people, a lot of the times we're just talking about specifically, here's the instrument, here's the music, what can I do on the instrument and the music. And all of the times that I have students making progress, a lot of progress, there's more of these parts involved. And I think to diagnose it when a student is very, interested and motivated, but doesn't seem to be like getting as much satisfaction and noticing as much growth and change, some of these elements are missing. And the most common ones are not having any sort of performance thing in there, which could take many forms. It could be like an online recital with your teacher. It could be uploading videos. It could be playing for your friends. It could be an open mic. It could be getting together with another friend and jamming. But that is a very, very important part of the thing that needs to be there, the sort of circle. And going to see music, whether it's accordion music or not, just going out and seeing live music that you love, that you like, is really, really important. And then finding a community of musicians is the other one that is really, really important. It's unlikely, unless you're in one of the really big cities in the U.S., it's unlikely that you're going to find a community of accordion players. And even if you do find other accordion players, it can be unlikely that they like to play weird. Okay, sorry. I'm just looking at the chat. YouTube chat doesn't seem to be working for me. That's weird. Well, I don't know. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm not sure what's up. But finding a community. So I think an accordion, if you know what you like, find a community of that genre of music. So, for example, if you like Brazilian music, find like a community that plays some sort of Brazilian music that you like choro. There's choro jam sessions. In fact, that reminds me that Andrew Lawrence, who runs the Django in June for Django Reinhardt Music and the Choro Camp New England, has just launched like a map where you can find Choro Rodas. Roda is the name for like a get together and jam session, and those are like super important and can be hard to find. That reminds me. See if I can find that real quick. That'd be fun. But something up. Duh. Okay. That looks like it's moving now. I don't know what's going on, guys, but I think that's working. How long ago was that? Okay, so sorry. I made the big updates on the operating system to Sequoia on the MacBook yesterday, and so that was probably a stupid thing to do. So who knows? Who knows? I have not prayed at the altar of the internet gods yet this week, so that's probably the problem. Anyways, so I was showing, I don't know when the audio cut out, but there's the Shoro map here, which is cool. You can get to there. And yeah, so now I wanted to go on to, let's talk a little bit, or I'll talk a little bit about practice. And I want to share this awesome resource that I learned about at the Teach Talk on Sunday, which is cool. I mean, this is why I do Teach Talk, is to learn, to get inspired. Let's do that and hide that one. Okay. So this is Molly Gebrian. Molly Gebrian. And she was mentioned by somebody in Teach Talk, Dr. Molly, and she's a violinist, professional violinist with a background in neuroscience. And I believe this accordion educator heard about Molly from Noah Kageyama, who runs the Bulletproof Musician and gave a wonderful workshop presentation at the ATG recently. Teach Talk highly suggested checking out Molly's September practice challenge. So we have all these videos. We're going to listen to a little bit of the announcement, and then we're going to check out a little bit of day one and maybe a few others. And the deal is that each day it's suggesting a new way that you can practice, a new way to approach your music. And this educator was super fired up about it. So here, let's start with the announcement here.
Hi everybody, I hope you've had a great summer. I wanted to do something to help people get the school year off on the right foot when it comes to practicing. So for the month of September, I'm going to be doing a September practice challenge where I will post a new practicing tip every day to give you more in your practicing toolbox so you can get the year started off right when it comes to practicing. So every day there'll be a new tip, something for you to try in your practicing that day. I will often also post videos or other helpful supplemental material of how to do this, like videos of me actually doing the practice tip that I'm talking about. But please feel free to ask questions in the comments, comment on how the tip works for you, anything that would help you practice better. So look for my first video on Sunday on September 1st, and yeah, happy practice.
Cool. And then now we'll check out.
Hi everyone, welcome to day one of my September practice challenge. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to share some tools with you and some practice ideas to help you practice better at the beginning of the school year. Today is Sunday, and I don't practice on Sundays anymore. It's really important to take time off from practicing. The science is very clear on this, that our brains need time off to process. I have a whole video series on the importance of breaks and the fact that we do the most learning when we are not practicing, which I know is very counterintuitive. So there will never be a practice tip on Sundays this month to encourage you to take time off from practicing. What I do want to offer you today is something that I hope you'll carry through the month with you, and that is the practice of self-compassion. I know that's probably not what you expected me to start with. You expected me to start with, how do you play in tune, or how do you play faster? But we're going to start with self-compassion. I know it feels very touchy-feely and like you're not being rigorous or holding yourself to a high standard if you're treating yourself kindly, but the science is very clear actually that we cannot learn effectively when we feel anxious and when we feel scared. We learn much more effectively when we feel relaxed and open and curious. And so that's how I want you to try to go into your practicing this month. So here's your practice idea for today. If you practice today, I want you to use this in your practicing. If you don't practice today, and I hope you take a day off today, I want you to try to use this in your life today and going forward into the next week and into the next month. Anytime you catch yourself being mean to yourself, saying, gosh, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Or, oh man, just get that shift. What's wrong with me? I want you to replace that with something kinder. I want you to say something like, it's okay, let's try again. Or struggling is part of learning. It's okay that I'm struggling right now. Or, yeah, I know that feels really frustrating, but it's okay. It doesn't mean I can't do it. It means maybe I just need to try a different way, or maybe I need a break. Statements like this can really help you persevere through difficult times and will help you achieve your goal much more effectively than beating up on yourself. I'll put a slide in here with ideas of other things you can say that might be helpful, but that's your practice idea for today. Practice self-compassion.
All right. Struggling doesn't mean I can't do it. It just means I haven't found, go back to that one. It just means I haven't found an effective practice method yet to solve the problem I'm having. Next statement is, it's okay that I'm struggling. Maybe I should take a break and come back to this later. And another one. Mistakes are a necessary part of learning. What can I learn from this right now? And I assume there's more. Let's check out another video of Dr. Molly Gabrians, Dr. Gabrians. Let's go here. Let's see what she did on day. Well, there should be one for today, right? Yeah. Okay, cool.
I have another variable practice idea for you. This one I call Play One, Imagine One. I originally learned this from the pianist Jeffrey Sykes, so shout out to Jeffrey. Thank you so much for this one. I absolutely love it. It breaks people's brains in the best way. So what you're going to do for this one is you're going to pick a passage and you're going to play measure one, and then you're going to imagine measure two. So last week we talked about mental practicing. So essentially you're going to do measure two in your brain, hearing it, feeling it. Then you're going to play measure three, then hear measure four. So when you're doing it in your brain, if somebody could read your mind, they should get a seamless performance, right? You're doing measure one out loud, measure two in your brain, but if somebody could read your mind, they just get a seamless performance. So try this with starting by playing measure one, then imagine measure two. Then once you've done the passage that way, do the opposite. So start by imagining measure one, then play measure two, imagine measure three, blah, blah, blah. Once you've done it by the bar, try doing this by the beat. So play beat one, imagine beat two, play beat three, imagine beat four. And then try this by the note. This one really breaks my brain. So play the first note, imagine the second note, play the third note, imagine the fourth note. You want to try to do this in tempo if you can. And you want the tempo to stay consistent across the playing and imagining. You will see in my video that I'm really struggling with this, and that is often what happens, that it's really difficult to go back and forth in this way. It makes you really, really clarify what's on the page because you have to imagine, but it also makes you have to really, really, really think because you're constantly starting and stopping your playing. I find it a very useful exercise. After I've done this and kind of broken my brain with this a little bit, then going back and actually playing it feels significantly easier. So try this out today. If it breaks your brain like it does in my video, then you're on the right track. You want to practice it until it is seamless and feels a lot better than it will at first. All right, play one, imagine one. So I originally learned this, like I said, from pianist Jeffrey Sykes, so shout out to Jeffrey for this. This is such a great idea. It's really challenging. So I'm going to play you the passage first so you can hear how it's supposed to go. The reason I'm doing it with this passage is this is from my concert that's coming up in concerts in October. And this is something that's always like, coordination wise, just always feels a little bit scary. So I'll play it as written so you can hear what it is, and then I'll do play one, imagine one. So as written. Okay, so that's what it is, fast within a accelerando. So now I'm going to do play one, imagine one by the bar. So I'm going to start by playing the first bar and then in tempo imagining the second bar, how it sounds, how it feels, then play the third bar, etc. So here we go. Okay, if I was doing this for real, I would do the opposite. So I would start by imagining the first bar, then playing the second bar. But for the purposes of the video, I won't do that. Next I'm going to do it by the beat. So play one beat, imagine one beat. Again, I'll start with the playing. So play one beat, imagine one beat. Oh, I have to keep track of my bowing when I do this. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, this is hard. Okay, I have to slow it down. Oh, no. Oh, that was really, really hard. Because it's so fast, it was really hard to imagine and then remember to play and remember to stop. So again, if I was doing this for real, then I would switch which one I'm starting with.
Okay, cool. So I don't want to snipe all her content. Very cool. Here, let's check out one more. Let's check out day 6.
Hi everybody, I hope your practicing is going well. Today's practice idea for my September practice challenge is to take micro breaks during your practicing. So micro breaks are short little breaks, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, where you stop practicing, you stop thinking, and you just let your brain space out. This is really necessary for our brains to process what we're working on. It feels like wasted time, but it's absolutely not. I have a whole video on my YouTube about the science behind breaks in general, and micro breaks specifically.
I think we'll check out that video maybe on next week. I'll add that to the playlist. That sounds great. I am so pleased to have found this channel. She's awesome, and Teach Talk is awesome, where you get to learn about stuff like that. All accordion teachers out there, check it out.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link below for you. If you're on Instagram, I will also put a link. So take micro breaks today, 10-15 seconds in the middle of your repetitions or whatever you're doing. Just stop, take a drink of water, look out the window. I'll put a video of myself doing my repetitions with micro breaks so you can see one way that I use this. I will do 3 correct repetitions in a row, trying to get them correct. And then I will take a little break where I just stand there and do nothing. And then I try to get 3 more correct repetitions. If I can do that, I go on and I come back to that spot later. If I can't, I have to start over again. So try this out today and see how it works for you.
Sorry for the scrolling. Oh, she's going to demonstrate. And a micro break. Relax the tension, regain concentration, remember what you're working on. That's cool. I love it. Sometimes I like to allow for play, like it's like we're trying to be disciplined and not just like noodle and stuff. But sometimes I like to have that as a version of like a micro break, or to me it seems similar. Maybe Dr. Gabriel would say it's not the same, but allowing myself to kind of just float away and then be like, okay, regain. Now you remember you're in the key of E flat and you're doing this melody or whatever. And Bertie Worcester says, I've never heard of this, ... I really want to try it now. That's cool. All right. So there's a cool, refreshing resource for all of us. We'll come back to that. Let's get into some cool music. So I'm going to start with an old video that I'm excited to watch. I knew that there was, sometimes when I'm saving stuff, like if I'm on the computer and I'm just kind of in the zone, like finding cool stuff, I'll add it to next week's playlist. And then sometimes I don't do that. And then just the morning of the live stream, I just have to like get down and figure out, add a bunch of stuff. But this is a video that I thought I was looking for a video that I thought I added to the playlist. And it's Yannicka Manuna and Mary Mexicanu. And it wasn't on the playlist, and it wasn't on Yannicka's channel. Anyway, I was searching for it, but I found this from 17 years ago, which is like, I don't know, when you see a YouTube video that, oh, sorry, let me show you guys. I don't know, when you find a YouTube video that's 17 years old, I mean, I think that YouTube came out in 2006, if I remember correctly. So this is early uploaded. It's so cool. May as well give it a thumbs up. And this. And this is so cool. So this is much younger Mary Mexicanu on the right and Yannicka Manuna on the left. And I don't, let's see. we really don't have any description. Let's see. We can translate to English. I found that YouTube is translating Romanian a lot better, and even the closed captioning, which I feel like wasn't working even a year or so ago, is working now to translate Romanian to English with subtitles. So that's awesome. Let's see. May God keep them healthy. Blah blah blah. Oh, it's translated. No, these two. Let's see. I don't know. We're not gonna. Yeah, Gula. Anyways, check this out. This is so cool. The playing is just incredible, and they're both on acoustic accordions. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. One more time. Lots of whole tone scale. A little bit of blues riffs. It kind of sounds like Don't Worry, Be Happy a little bit. I would say it is Don't Worry, Be Happy. Don't worry, be happy. Now, there is a video, I believe, of Yannicka Manuna and Bobby McFerrin playing together. So I wonder if that's around this time. So much fun. That one's from 17 years ago. But let's see. Where's the one? Is this the one that I was looking for? That's. And there's a new. What was that little beep? Is that on the video? It is on the video. Okay, sorry. But this is a newer channel. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta adjust the. Let me resize the window, guys. Apologies. Ogolo Daniel, I'm not playing along today. Not on this stream. That's definitely how to learn it though. thanks for watching with us. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one from 6 days ago that I was looking for when I found the other one this morning. So let's check it out. This is 20 minutes long, and they're just chilling. And look, the same accordions, I think. So this is Jannika's Weltmeister, and this is Marian Mexicano's Weltmeister. Let me just open the last. It looks like the same acoustic instruments. Check it out. Let's see. There's close-ups. That certainly looks like the same instrument that Jannika is playing right here. And let's see, where's Marian? Yeah, look at that. Marian's Weltmeister looks the same, man. That's so cool. I didn't even notice that till right now. Yeah, Ogolo, do you are you a fan of the La Torresca accordionist? Do you play all this stuff? It's great to have you watching the stream.
Saúde, mine maricane.
For me, it's so cool to watch, of course, to watch Jannika, but it really so cool to watch the accompaniment, which I feel like is hard for me to understand, like what to do and to soak up. The melodies are like it's clear and loud, and you can often see Jannika's right hand. It doesn't seem like he's doing a whole lot in his left hand in these contexts, like when he's playing with accompaniment, either a full band or cymbalum player or another accordion. But the accordion accompaniment is so cool to see. Like usually we're hearing cymbalum do a lot of this subdivision rhythm stuff on the chords, and to hear Marian, who's just like, oh, it's just so amazing, and like, yeah, really cool. And Ogolo, so awesome. So you're bass guitarist. That's awesome. Love instruments. Well, thank you for hanging out with us and finding the channel. And Alex is typing in the chat too. That's so great. Congratulations on your new accordion. I hope it's working properly. You may want to, if you can find somebody to take a look at it, a repair person, just to have it just looked at. I don't know. It can often be kind of surprisingly expensive if they have to fix stuff, but it's good to know at least but maybe your mom knows, maybe she played and she knows if it's in good condition or not. But that's really cool. Yeah, the jazzy harmonies is, I think, a lot of what attracts me to this music. These musicians play in a way that sounds, I don't know, it's kind of the core nucleus of jazz is very similar to the way these musicians play this music, the Lautari Romanian music. Oh yeah, okay, cool. It's in good condition. That's great. Compression is like so important, I think, these days. Really, you gotta it's better to play a lesser good accordion with great compression than a really great accordion with kind of poor compression. Because what you can do with compression is really important. Compression meaning it doesn't leak a whole lot on the opening of the bellows or the closing of the bellows. Well, that's cool. So here's another cool thing is Andrew Cohen, who's an accordion player that we have checked out and seems to be based in California, but I don't know him. He's doing a concert about 30 minutes away from me in Palm Springs on Thursday, and I'm going to go. And it's going to be really cool. Let's check out. Let's see if we can find the most recent Andrew Cohen video. Here we go. I don't think we watched this on the stream before. Lots of sus chords. Hey, Heather. Beautiful bell tuner. They are Balkan, yeah. Yeah, cool. So it starts off with like a bunch of very like Western jazz kind of harmony, sus chords and stuff. And I could see, Heather, where you're like, oh, this sounds like it has some Balkan elements. So it is a Balkan tune written by Yannicka Menuna, who we're just checking out. Yeah, cool. Super cool. All right, so let's go back to the playlist. There's some other really cool stuff. Rodolfo Medeiros, Heather, you know. But Heather's seen Rodolfo Medeiros live, like very close in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm envious. I envy that experience. I would love to have that. Let's see. So on Rodolfo's channel, he just like dumped a whole bunch of videos of a live concert in a city. What's the city called again? I forget. But there's, let's see. First want to watch this video of it. Yeah, a duet with Jens Biedermann. This looks really cool. And then all of these other live performances with this orchestra. And I assume it's his arrangements. I don't know, but I just love like everything he does. Solo with an ensemble. So let's check out this duo of two bandoneon, Rodolfo and Jens. And the piece is called El Motivo. Here we go. I believe this is live in Switzerland. Suiza. Cool. I'm assuming it's Rodolfo's arrangement because he was not reading music and has his eyes closed. So very cool. Maybe this is like a workshop or something, or I don't know, but just gorgeous. Okay, so let's check out at least one of these so I can pepper these into future Sublime. Heather says, yeah, agree. Yeah. You could just see him vibing, man. Just remember when we watched, I know Bertie Wooster, if nobody else will remember, we watched a workshop by him, and he talked about circulos, and how this was exactly stated by Pablo Casals in the book Making Rainbows. He called it rainbows, and up and a down, that you have to have, your music has to have the growing of tension, growing of whatever, and then also the releasing of it. You have to have these bigger things that are rainbows and these smaller things that are rainbows. And Rodolfo Medeiros talked about the same thing. Circulos, he said. Okay, so here, let's listen to El Choclo, which is a classic, and this arrangement is so cool. assume that's him conducting as well. It's a really great recording. Oh, wow. Let's check out that ending again. It was, what did it do? At first I thought he was going into 3, but I think it was like a hemiola. Let's check that out. Okay. Okay, there's something like that. You can hear the a pickup to it. So that's the dominant. It's really just that 1 or 2 measures, and it's more sophisticated even than what I thought. Super cool. Wow. Maybe. Let me get the accordion. That's the third. What key do we think it's in? Something tells me C minor, but I don't know. It's like the 4 chord, right? Okay. It's the 4 chord, I can tell. The 4 E is the 4 of B minor. So let's see. Let's just, for practicality's sake, let's slow it down to 50% here. Okay. La la bum bum. Something like that. Sorry. Oh, what is that? All right. Well, in the interest of time, it's a little screwy, but very cool. I'm going to dip out so I don't just noodle around for the rest of the stream. But that is really cool. Something super sophisticated, rhythmically, sort of. Let's check out some more videos. Let's see. There's a ton more on there. What else do I have? There's also stuff from last week. Okay. We got Ksenia Sidorova has a cool called Beyond Bach piece. Oh yeah, there's a great video on demonstrating Vasil Bendis's perspective on practicing scales on the accordion. Yeah, let's watch both of those. Why don't we check out? Let's check out Ksenia Sidorova. This is on the channel Alpha Classics. Very beautifully produced video. Let's see. I'll subscribe to that. And it's called Beyond Bach. And yeah. We need full speed. Sounds like free bass in the left hand. Beautiful, and I mean, no disrespect by kind of playing with her. But when you have the accordion on, that's what's going to happen. It's sort of an autumn leaves chord progression, the 1 to the 4, with the harmonic rhythm is different, meaning how long the chords last is different, but it's D minor. Can I get back any further? So you got the A. And then in there she did a harmony from Bach that I love, which is like a lot of times he'll do this cadence, like this happens in the Brandenburg Concerto number 5, I think it is, where you expect it to be like, if it's gonna cadence on the D minor, that you expect this, something like that, where the root has the bass, the lowest note is the root, but he'll do the 5 of the 4 chord. So that's the D7 with the C in the bass, which wants to go to the 4 chord, and then 5 of 5, or here to here, or fun. Love those changes. Very, very, very cool. All right. What else is on the list here of fun things to listen to? Those scales. So let's check out.
Hi.
I might speed through a little bit. This is a musician that we've listened to. He has a ton of subscribers, which is great. He has a lot of wonderful videos. We've checked out. I think we've checked out both of these. The flute sonata with the historic piano, and the Vivaldi Summer. A lot of other stuff here. Where is Vasil from? Let's find out. Curious. Concerts. Let's see where the concerts are. Beautiful website. Norway. Okay. I would think he's Norwegian. All right.
Hi. In this video, we are going to talk about scales. There is a lot of debates and discussion about whether or not you should play scales. But my opinion on that, it is very useful exercise that develops different types of technique and can be very good warm-up exercise.
So this is a great question to ask the chat. What do you all think about scales? This is something that whenever I get together with the ATG group, Joanne, who I think spearheaded this, what is it called? The syllabus, the ATG syllabus, which has levels of accordion skills, and it has tests that you should take to move up the skills. And I have to say that I did something very similar at the Acme Accordion School, and was really good for me. Joanna Darrow was my teacher there, and she had me learn all the scales in 2 hands. Let's do 12 keys. I don't remember if we did more than that, like arpeggios. I just don't remember, but we did do it. We made sure that I could play the scales in 12 keys. And I think when I studied with Victor Prieto too, there was that was involved, doing the scales in 2 hands. Chromatic scales I find are actually very important, especially now that I'm playing jazz on the Stradella, and you can make a lot of these dominant chords off of the counterbass, and deciding when, because jazz harmonies have a lot of chromatic movement in the chords. You have to do a C7, and then you have to do a B7, and then you have to do a B flat 7, and maybe an A7 and A flat 7, and when to make the leap, and from what note to what note. Like, are you going to leap on a C7 chord to the B7 there, and then carry it down? Like, that's what I have been doing, for example. And I find that it's easier for my hand to move up like this than it is for my hand from like sort of where I'm rooted. I'm finding that it's easier to go up and then come back down to a sort of resting point than it is for me to stay here and then. So like one example of this, before we check out Vasil's video, is the intro and ending. Really, it's the last sort of 4 bars to Honeysuckle Rose, which goes on. Not Honeysuckle Rose, Sweet Georgia Brown. Let me turn off the chat so you can see my hand a little bit better. Gotta do this. So I could do this, and then down to there is the F sharp, and then the F7, and I could do the E here, and then maybe jump up A. But I find that it doesn't work as well as then to here, then to here, then to what was I on? F sharp E, and then A D G. So, but there's other situations where I'm doing chromatic walkdowns, and I find that I want to go from like a chromatic note, or rather a counterbass note. That's interesting that I said chromatic. That's like a Freudian slip, or shows what I really think. But a counterbass note to another counterbass note. And where do you want to break that? Anyways, Rhymeron, it's so great that you asked about. So I'm just going to the chat, see if I can show the chat. Will it show up? I don't know. The mysteries of this program. It did show up before, hopefully. So Rhymeron on in the chat watching said, have I got any bellows shake videos, particularly the pedagogy of the same? I'll tell you what. In this video that we're about to watch, he absolutely approaches it with the bellows shake. So here, let's let Vasil do it. I'm not that great at the bellows shake. I have like one little bellows shape thing that I composed years ago. That's like my little intro that uses the chords from what's it called? It's like an intro in E minor or G major to Indifference, although I could use anything. And so on. That's the most bellows shaking I got going, which is really very controlled. People that bellows shake can do freaking incredible things. So let's check out Vasil, and that'll scratch your itch. Check out his channel, Rhymeron. Subscribe to it and study this video, I would say.
Size. But when I say scale,
the other thing I would say, Rhymeron, is for bellows shake, check out Tony Lavella's videos. We watched those about a month or so ago, maybe longer. And he has a couple really great, he talks about bellows shake, and he has his like own way to do it. And it's cool. It's very cool. It's not like overly academic, but it's what would I say? It's thought out for sure. And that guy can bellows shake like nobody, man. He kills it.
scales,
Who's the other guy? Bertie Wooster. Do you remember that other dude that did like one tune on Machino, was like a Hall & Oates song or something? He did like a pop cover on Machino, and then we watched some more. This would be like a year or so, 2 years ago. He also has a cool video on all the various bellows shakes. If I can remember his name, I'll try to find that video for you, Rhymeron.
also means different types of chord progressions, arpeggio, and so on. The most important aspect here is to control the bellows. Pay attention to how you pull it and how you change direction. Remember, you should change the bellows at the same moment as you press the key or button.
triplets. Okay, 3 is triplets, 3 octaves, or 2 octaves with a repeating second octave. Okay. And change the bellows, control the bellows and change it every 4 beats. Jigga-da, 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 change it. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa. Yeah.
If you have a third octave, go for it. If not, just repeat the second octave.
Show repeating the second octave. Oh. Because in his left hand he's playing free bass. So he has more octaves over there.
Congrats, we can move to arpeggio.
So this would be on the stradella. So he has instruction for both the free bass and the stradella bass. Cool. So yeah. So it's like he's just playing the first note in the left hand of each arpeggio that he's playing in the right hand. Now he's playing. Okay. Well, that's that free bass, but he's playing stradella. The long arpeggio. Okay. Alright, so if you do, yeah. Well, it's obvious what's going on here. He's gonna get to the bellows shake thing. Cool. I want to point out that he's using a small diaphragm condenser mic that looks a lot like a Neumann KM184, which is our preferred, it's my preferred microphone. A stereo pair of those on each side is my preferred microphone. What's he doing with the right hand? Oh yeah, there's another one right at the bottom of his keyboard. You can barely see it. It's right at the scrub bar where the red line is, but he's got an identical one of those.
Chords, finally. I recommend playing these two versions. First one trains your wrist technique, second one your bellow shake technique.
So the first one trains your wrist technique and the second one trains your bellow shake. Pay attention, Ramaron. That's cool. I like that. There, here's the bellow shake. Thirds.
Actually, there is unlimited field for an improvisation. You can create your own exercise. That's what I did also. I knew I need this specific technique, so I just created exercise for the octaves and I was playing it every day. And that's how I developed those type of technique. And that's it for today. I know it's pretty boring to play for...
Very good, very good. Cool. Yeah, subscribe to his channel. Spread the love. I'm not going to join. That's some sort of membership thing, but I am subscribed. Let me see. This is fun. I've been trying to collect more playlists that I can share easily with people. Let me see if I can find the Tony Lovello. I'll add that to this little playlist here. Huh. Bellow shake. There he is, bellow shaking. But it's his workshop that he did. I remember it was in that classroom, and he's like looking for his handouts, and he can't find them. Let me see if I remove the bellow shake, if we can find it. That's the that's the concert. Here we go. It's in here. Rhymeron, check out this video, because right here, then he's gonna go to the thing. He doesn't have a board. But this is the video where he talks about it. He talks about a few different things. That one, and then let me see if I can find that other one that's really cool. It's more of like a demonstration of bellow shakes than like telling you how to work on them. Where Tony tells you, he's like, this is how I do it, and here's how you can do it, and he gives you like the remedial step with the clip at the bottom, and then he tells you how to practice it. It's very cool. But let me look at Machino Freebase and see if we can find that guy. I just don't remember his name. His name is, oh yeah, here it is. Uwe, that's right. Okay, cool. So he has a video on bellow shakes. Let's find that one. And we are subscribed. He just hasn't put out anything in a while. Let's see, where is that? Here we go. This is cool. So this is the quadruple bellow shake.
Tja, hallo. Das war also das Quadruple Ricochet und ich habe euch heute mal da hoch postiert, damit ihr guckt.
So I know for this, I don't know if this is helpful, but I know that the ricochet or ricochet is European and Russian accordionists have a name for that. Let me show you. So the ricochet is so called because the bellows actually hit each other, and Tony Lovello shows about that. Let's see if I can show you. Victor Prieto taught me how to do this in a short, and Frederic Deschamps has a great way to do this as well. So you got to make sure that the top and bottom hit. If you can go top, bottom, and then you get so that's two, and ricochet, often it's a triple, and that's the one that I showed, a triple bellow shake. And so what happens is somewhere along the line, it like the front hits. So you're going to 1, 2, 3. You get 3 sort of puffs of air there. So if I just go here, 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 like that, and I put a finger down. So the way to do it that I know is just get him to, this is the way Fred showed me, Fred Deschamps. And then the other one is just a double, which I'm not good at all. And that one I do like this, but then talking to Gabe Rodriguez, who's super studied very, very hard, very, very hard fall hall music, because he just wants to know it all, and he has a very high bar that he sets for himself, and it shows. But he studies and goes down to Brazil and hangs out with great Brazilian accordion players. And he said, like, there's a beat called shochi, which is kind of like a reggae. So that and that groove, I don't remember. There's like a way that he's like, yeah, it goes. If you're playing out, then it's out in. I don't remember the exact formula, but something like that. And then also that I think the Brazilian way is actually to move your arm out and back. So instead of thinking like I was shown in the Tony way of pushing the palm down and up, I think the Brazilian way, as far as I have understood from what Gabe has showed me, is you're actually opening like that. And that you can do, the palm up and down is really hard to do if the bellows are open, but that out and back you can do if it's open. And I remember even Gabe saying like you got to do it like that. So anyway, that's a great video for you too. Those and the Tony video and this one are some good ones that I know of on YouTube. Cool. All right, let's go back to my playlist for today. Oh, I also wanted to go to last week's playlist because there was stuff on there that I wanted to check out. Let's see. Did I add Uwe to the bellows shake playlist?
Hi, in this
No, I didn't. Let me do that real quick. Here we go. And here. There we go. Okay. So beautiful. All right, let's check out videos from the last. Well, there's no way to. Last week. No, that would have been the 17th. Where's the 17th? Here we go, right here. Okay.
Hey, everybody.
All right. Oh, okay. So I know. All right. So I'm going to promote the course again that I have coming up. Check this out, everybody. Let's see. We got to go there and there. And. Okay. So this is this course that I promoted at the beginning of the stream. If you just joined, or permit me to show it. I'm not going to repeat myself, but I will show just how important the 12 keys work is for building all. I've done it a ton, just not so much in my left hand on the Stradella, but I've done it a ton, right hand chords and melodies and tunes. And it's really good. And now I'm doing it in the left hand on Stradella and just back to it. And I'm reminded how great it is. This is part of the free or preview stuff that you can check out. I highly recommend this. I think, like I said at the beginning, it has some great stuff. I also talk about being patient, and I have like a really simple little example you could start with, which would really get you far if you're diligent and patient with yourself. This will be a great first step. But I want to show that there are other musicians out there that are killing it, that play in other genres that use this same approach. And this is one of them. So this is En Blanc et Noir, who's a wonderful French pianist who he takes stuff in 12 keys and he makes exercises for what we would call classical music, so Baroque and Romantic and classical era music. And the Neapolitan cadence is a little bit more of a sophisticated chord change, sophisticated for Baroque music. And he's going to show you a little exercise that he made in 12 keys. So check it out how he does it. Okay. This is more of a Chopin style. Same deal. Hey, Wei Tao Ren. I just don't have it up for registration yet. But check back soon if you're able to check next week or watch the live stream. I'll have either it'll be live for sign up or I'll have a future date set for when I hope the course opens. But what you can do in the meantime, sorry to be bopping around, is you can see just to check out what's on there. You can see also the current table of contents that I have. So if we go back to here, I'm gonna have a bunch of materials for like prerequisite skills. So where to start, because going from nothing to 4-note chords is too much. So you really should start and do some work with just triads and moving them in the circle of fifths and stuff. I'll show you about that. And then This is really supposed to be like a method book and also a reference book. So I'm going to cover all sorts of stuff. This chapter is introducing you to the idea that you really must have. It will revolutionize all of your music. Every single little bit of music that you ever listen to will change when you start thinking and hearing in terms of Roman numerals. That's the 1 chord of the song I just heard. That's the 4 chord of the song. Just like I could tell in Cassenja's composition, oh, that's a cadence on the 4 chord, or what that was on the Rodolfo Medeiros thing. That's going to the 4. You know it after a while, and you can hear it and the interval relationships and stuff. And then this other idea that inside of an overall key that there's an idea of key centers. And this is important knowledge that is required really to help the rest of the course, because everything else in the course is going to rely on this, using this terminology and helping you do exercises. Then here's a little chapter on singing, and because explaining the theory behind it, because then when we get down to start working in the next chapters, then I don't want to have to explain the concept, so I'm just going to show you, here's the exercise. And also, trying to convince you that it works. It's really good. And then we go through all the different types of chords with all of the different inversions and stuff like that, which is really important as a reference guide. You might not know what a minor 7 flat 5 chord is, and you might not know where you would find it and how it functions. And then these really basic chord progressions, which are super important. And then we get down to the fundamental chord progressions and applied to songs. So here's a song that has a lot of 2/5s. Let me show you. This is an example, just the part of the song that has the 2/5s. And How High the Moon, 2/5 and 1/6 2/5s, and all this sort of stuff. And then we're gonna go forward. I haven't finished this, but this other stuff, I'm still writing all this stuff. But these really common chord progressions with this stuff is it's the tradition that I learned in, plus my life as a working musician and learning these tunes, especially learning all the popular tunes. Because a lot of times my experience in jazz school was like a lot of emphasis on us learning jazz tunes from records that really the public in general doesn't care about and has gotten less and less popular. But these American standards, the American songbook, are tunes that have lyrics and stuff that jazz musicians have improvised on, and those have very, very similar forms. Like they're almost all 32 bars, and they're almost all an A form and a B form, so 16 and 16, or 8 and 8 and 8 and 8 and an AABA. And understanding that and understanding like just these very, very common things like helps so much. So I in addition to teaching you great chord shapes and how to use them for accompaniment, I want to also, this course is going to teach you this common language of the harmony of jazz from the tunes of the 20s through the 50s, which is really the bulk of jazz, and even the tunes that aren't that, really up until fusion, I suppose, maybe before that, but the rock influence and the sort of avant-garde influence, I would say, kind of diverts us. But hard bop and bebop and all that stuff are built on the same thing, which is a lot of the music, and it gives you a great foundation. They call it the common practice period of jazz. So anyways, that's that. Here we go. So the last thing I have so far. Oh yeah. All right. So let's get back to En Blanc et Noir, who has this beautiful exercise that he made for shedding this Neapolitan cadence in 12 keys. 5th down, which we would say a 4th up. And he's going to go around through 12 keys. It's very cool. Let's check out what the coda is with Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory. Ah, neat. Okay, so he's going to get somewhere else. This is fun. It's a botched note. En Blanc et Noir has a fun sense of humor, very kind of online sense of humor as well. Okie doke. So, we're nearing the end. Let's check out, since we're kind of in this vibe, let's check out this Jeff Snyder video.
Hey, everybody.
Jeff is has very well produced YouTube materials, and he's been going hard at it, and it shows. 288,000 subscribers to his channel. I even know somebody who took a lesson or two from him. He has just tons of stuff going back years, a lot of really, really great stuff. And then I think like a lot of YouTubers, moves from making content that's purely educational to talking more about the culture and experiences of being a musician. Like what's the name? Rick Beato does that a lot. I don't really care for Rick Beato, but that's just me. It's whatever. I know my friend Henrik really loved him. So anyways, let's check out Jeff Schneider's 5 things I wish I knew when learning to improvise.
Jeff Schneider here. You know, when I started improvising, I had no idea what I was doing. And if somebody had told me these 5 lessons back when I first picked up an instrument, it would have saved me years of frustration. So the first time I became aware of what improvising was back in middle school. I was playing in the jazz band, and the band director asked if anybody wanted to take a solo during the concert. And I thought that sounded pretty cool, but I had no idea how to do it. And so he taught everybody who wanted to solo, he taught us the blues scale. And that was my introduction to improvising and soloing. The problem with that was it set me off on this path of being obsessed with learning scales and music theory and thinking that in order to sound good, I needed to play the right notes. And there is some truth to playing notes that fit with chords. That is important. But the more important lesson that I wish I had been told is that pitches do not matter as much as rhythm and phrasing.
Okay, and I'm just going to jump in and say amen to that. And that is how I created the 2 blues courses that I did earlier this year. The one that's on the 12-bar blues and the one that's on minor blues. The one that is on minor blues for everybody, that's free on the website still. The group class is over, but the materials are all up there, and it works wonderfully as a self-hosted course. And it's my perspective and point of view for how to really get disciplined and get into a blues feeling, and really with all the focus and emphasis on understanding the feel. Don't fudge around. Don't kind of, it's close enough. No, that's too often accordion players have really awful time, and like dropping beats and measures and all kinds of crazy shit. Nope. Get the time inside of your body, inside your spirit, and then play in it. You know, I call it the groove grid, just as a little teaching thing. But I would say amen to that, Jeff Schneider.
If you prioritize rhythm and phrasing, it actually doesn't matter what pitches you play. So for example, if I play like a C major chord or a C6-9, something like this, and I'll count off a tempo, and I'm going to play all the wrong notes. I'm going to play the black keys, which don't fit into this C major scale at all. Check it out. A 1, 2, 3, 4. So none of those notes.
I would argue that he did play notes in a way that resolved musically. So even though he had is essentially 2 tonalities going on, in addition to playing great time, his phrasing, he with the dissonant sounds, which was like a second key happening, that itself is a great melody. I would say he didn't kind of randomly plunk out notes angularly.
Fit, technically speaking, but it still sounds cool because I prioritized my rhythm and my phrasing. Now I think everybody knows what rhythm is, but
so you could take bop buddy da da beat ba da. Bop buddy da da dee da da.
In case you don't
know,
the
phrasing has a lot to do with. There's so much more to phrasing than just like what the note value is if you wrote them out, like at buddy da da and 2. Let's see, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. At buddy da da. There's also the articulation. So you got longs and shorts. Short adi da da. The articulation.
What phrasing is, it's just how you play the notes that you're playing. Are you playing them loud? Are you playing them soft? Is there a swing feel? Is it straight? It's how you play the notes. It took me the longest
And
time
short
to
and long.
really learn this lesson. In fact, I don't think I truly learned it until I started teaching improvising. And I would give all of my students these licks and I would teach them about chord tones, and they never really sounded any better until we started working on the phrasing and the rhythm. And then it didn't actually matter what notes they were playing because everything would sound good once you get those two things together. All right, on to lesson number 2. You've got your phrasing and your rhythm dialed in. Now it's time to start thinking about music theory. But the big mistake that I made over and over again was letting music theory drive the soloing ship, if you will. What I mean is, I would let the music theory take control of what my ear really should have been in control of. So, let's be clear about this. Your ear is in charge, meaning you play what you hear, and the music theory supports that so that it can help you convert the sound into notes. I'll do an example in just a second. But what so many people do is that they let the music theory come into the driver's seat, they push everything else into the back seat. So yeah, maybe you're hearing some stuff, but really what you're doing is prioritizing thinking, all of this left brain, music theory, cerebral approach to improvising. It's not gonna end well. So make sure that your ear is in the driver's seat and your music theory is supporting your ear, not.
That's so true. Now, I hope you can give some examples for beginners, because that's a very easy and true statement, but sometimes the secret to helping people is like showing them a way in.
The other way around. So here's an example that I think will clear some of this up. Let's take a melody that everybody knows, Mary Had a Little Lamb. So I'm gonna start by just singing the melody. Da 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 da. Okay, now we've got this sound. My ear is in the driver's seat. That's a good thing. But now I'm gonna start to get some music theory in the mix here so I can figure out what notes I'm playing so I can actually play it on my instrument. All right, let's go from just those nonsense syllables to actual scaled degree numbers. I'm gonna go like this now. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, I'm getting
And this is exactly my approach as well. Anybody, I know a couple people watching are doing this with me.
Closer to the actual note names. We've got the sound, then we converted it to scale degree numbers.
I wish I had
now
something to throw at
I'm
you.
going to figure out what that first note is. It's a G, and that means that 3 is G. So if 3 is G, what key are we in? E flat major. And if I know it's 3, 2, 1, 2, 3,
I leaned
and I know my
into
E
it.
flat major scale, I know it's going to be G, F, E flat, F, G. So that's how you take sound and you convert it into notes.
Okay. All right. So anyway, this is a great video, and he talks about, let's see, other stuff in here. Time to be responsible, spontaneous composition, some other great stuff. I would suggest this video for those of you who are wanting to get it together. Get started. Let's end with some music. So let's check out, let's see. I have this beautiful recording. Oh yeah, this one's, dude. The tango violinists are so bad. They play with so much feeling. Here is, this is Antonio Agri and Daniel Binelli, a younger Daniel Binelli. Let's see. Does it give us a year that this was recorded? No, it's definitely older. This is Adios Nonino, which is a boom bap boom bap boom bap boom bap boom dap digga dum digga dum dap dum dap dim dim dum ba digga dum da 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 da. Is that one by Piazzolla, and here we go. Alright, so if we were to do the Jeff Schneider ear training on this, body, let's see, bum, bid up, bit, bum, 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 bid, let's see, let's hear it. How's the theme go? So the first step to all ear training is that you have to be able to match the pitch, either that you hear in your head or that you hear outside. Da dum da dum ba 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 boo ba. Oh, thank you. 1988. Thanks, Nomad Farmer. Be dum ba da ba ba da ba do da. La da ba da da. Ba bum. So, ba bum. I can tell that that's 5-1. Ba bum bum. That's 3. Ba da. Ba-da, that's a sharp 4 and a 5. Ba-dum, beep, ba-da, ba-da-da. Ba-ba. So that sounds like a ba-da-da, that sounds like a flat 7. Ba-da-da, ba-da. And a natural 6 and then a flat 6. Let's see. So that skill is what I teach in my classes, and more so. And it's like, so I'm working on this kind of more flagship course for the chords, because that's something that I know a lot about and people ask me about a lot. That's the thing that I would say I have expertise in. And also after that, I'm gonna like start doing something similar for like a sort of flagship course on approaching music on the instrument, on the accordion, from the fabric of the, not from the page, not from the printed page, from actually the notes and sounds and ear training, all that sort of stuff. So ba bum. So I know it's 5-1. Bum. If I find that note, ba, then I know what key we're in, because that's the 1. Dum. It is a C. Ba bum. 5. So I could say the Roman numerals, which I like, but I also like the solfege, because solfege only has one syllable. So sol do me, and then let's see, fa do re mi fa fi sol, do me fi fa, do sol do me fi sol, and then te la te. And I was right. It is flat 7. Natural 6 and flat 6. So you could say te la le, sol do me fi sol te la le, which takes a little bit. I still got to get my solfege better, the speed at which I could say them, but right, like that. Okay. Alright, so what's that? That also sounds like a flat 7. That sounds like flat 7. Flat 6. No, natural 6. What's the low note though? Let's see. Oops. Huh. Da dee. Da. That's a 5. No. So we got percussion from the bass and from the bandoneon. And we know that's the 5/5. We can hear that. To the dominant. To the 1. Now we have a new key. So da ba di pa. So we're in D minor. The violin is played in C minor. Now we're in D minor. Jazz changes. Hey, Courtney. Back to D minor. Yes, and 80s TV, VHS, that's so good on the tape. So yeah, I mean, just to close it out, like with just riffing, it's like doing the exercises. So 1,000% I agree with Jeff Schneider, and that's a major way that I've developed my ear, and I've seen it working with people. So you sing, right, and you're singing the pitches, and you sing 1, 2, 3 because that's the Arabic Roman numbering for the scale. Our scales usually have 7 notes. Say 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then you take a melody and you sing it in the same way. So Mary Had a Little Lamb is one that I use too. So 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. And then you also do the same thing right after with solfege. Learn the solfege. And the benefit of solfege is another numbering system. Solfege. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And there's a chromatic kind of solfege that's newer in the last 100 years. And it's do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li. Let's see. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. That's it. Do. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. And then, so most, I think all the vowel sounds change from whatever they are to an E sound. And then going down for the sharps. Going down, it's an A sound, is the vowel sound. So, do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re. Except for re. When you flat re, it becomes ra. Re, ra, do. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. And with those, you have a way in one syllable, which is much more singable. So if I sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's okay. But when it comes, it's still, you've got 7 that has 2 syllables, and it gets weird. And then when you add the flats, 1 sharp 1 2 sharp 2 3 4 sharp 4 5 sharp 5 6 sharp 6 7 1 1 7 flat 7 6 flats. It's too cumbersome, and that's where the solfege really shines, because you have just one syllable. Do, di, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. That's going through the chromatic scale, but you want to apply that to everything. And by doing that with these little exercises, then it really does transform your ear, and your brain will just start hearing melodies slowly, little by little, but it will happen. You'll start hearing the melodies and being able to go, like, that was 5-1, or that's definitely the 3, And then all you need to do is get your instrument. You don't need to look at their hands or anything. You'll start to hear that. And then you get your instrument and go, okay, it was 5-1, 3. But what key am I in? 5-1, 3, and what key? And then we figured out the violinist started in the key of C minor. So I can't recommend that highly enough. It's something you all can do just little by little. I highly suggest it. All right, this was fun. I'm not sure what next week's theme will be, but I will see you next week. Courtney, it's great to see you. And everybody have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourselves. Oh, the final thing I meant to plug. I have it up here. My final plug. Don't go away yet. Final plug is for the Emerald City Accordion Camp. Here it is. With behind the impact font here, you can see vaguely the shapes of your teachers. Jamie Mashler, wonderful accordionist based out of Seattle, and Gabriel Hall Rodriguez, also wonderful accordionist based out of Seattle, and very, very good friends of mine, very great people, and really, really amazing accordion players, and also great and dedicated accordion educators. This is awesome. If I was in the area, I would go because they have things to teach me. And so if you got the bread and you got the time and you got the interest, see if you can go. You'll learn a lot, and you'll get to hang out with these wonderful people and absorb their really cool approach to music. You're all welcome. As always, the archives of the live streams are available on the my YouTube channel, Rising Reed, where you just have to click the live tab and it'll take you to them.